Chale. All right, Bismillah Rahmanir Rahim. Jazakallah, Brother Usman. We've got Brother Usman who has done a master's in architecture here today with us, and he's got quite a few years of experience. So this is going to be, I believe, our 15th webinar session. So Jazakallah Usman bhai for taking the time.
Assalamualaikum, Ahmadi. Thank you for inviting me for this webinar. How are you? Good.
I'm very good. I'm very good, Jazakallah Usman bhai. So Usman bhai, I guess we'll just kick off by just asking a little bit about your journey towards becoming a professional architecture. Just tell us about your educational background and what kind of degrees have you done?
I did my bachelor's in architecture design from Pakistan. So in Pakistan, the bachelor's in architecture is 5 years course. And that leads to for someone to become an architect. That's enough in Pakistan. But unfortunately, overall in the world, that has been replaced with the 5 years of master's degree, which I'm not sure still in Pakistan the case or different. But at that time I was studying, it was 5 years bachelor's degree. So I completed over there, and then I got opportunity to work in Lahore, I think, for a year. It was a good company over there, Landmark Consultants. I worked with them. They did some multi-residential apartment developments and commercial buildings, and the houses, very high-end houses. If someone is familiar with Lahore or Faisalabad area, there's a Faisalabad University between Lahore and Faisalabad. We were working on that project. So we were doing like 50, 60 houses over there. And then I also did some interior design for the owner of that property. They were the Medina Enterprises people, the owners, like very lavish houses. Then I got an opportunity to move overseas to study further. So I moved to Liechtenstein. That's a very small country next to Switzerland. It's between Switzerland and Austria. So its total area, I think, 65 kilometers square or something like that. It's a very small one. Yeah, and it has only one university. That was very interesting way of finding that one. I was looking actually to go to Germany because my sisters were there. So I was looking for something, and it's a they also use the same language, German, Deutsch, over there in Liechtenstein. So I found the form. First, I thought it's a scam. So I didn't pay any attention. But when I didn't get any chance, any German universities, because they were asking for German language, which was very difficult for me at that time. So this university was the only one who were actually offering course in English. So then I thought, okay, let's try this one. Let's see what's going to happen. And very surprisingly, I got a call from them. But that was a good, I think, outcome of that whole thing. I got admission over there. It was not very expensive, almost free education over there. So I moved to Liechtenstein in 2006. So I studied over there. I joined the course in masters again, because they actually, as I mentioned before, in overall the world, they have 3 years bachelor's and 2 years masters. So I joined over the 2 years master's degree in sustainable architecture design. So that was more about a bit more scientific and all architecture, how the science and architecture works together. And make the environment more sustainable, houses more energy efficient, and developments. And it was very interesting course. The teacher was very tough, but it was very interesting course. So I studied over there 1.5 years. Then I got a chance to work in a company in Zurich. There was interior design company. I worked over there for almost a year. So at that time I was in between. Okay, I need to be settled somewhere, like either in Germany or somewhere. So I was trying to get a job which can give me an opportunity to settle. At the same time, I got the visa for Australia. So then I moved in 2009, start of 2009 in Australia. So I didn't complete my master's over there because I was thinking let's complete it here. When I came here, it was a bit difficult at the start, as everyone comes here. So after a year, I think I got an opportunity to go to admission in Melbourne University for master's again. So I got some credits from back my master's degree, and then to complete my master's degree in University of Melbourne in Australia. So that was education. So it's been very long.
How long
process
did you
getting
have to
master.
study in Melbourne for, given all the credits that you were able to claim?
That's also a very interesting thing. If someone is familiar with architecture, the problem with architecture designs subject is it's a bit different from other courses. That we
Mhm.
have a main course which is called design,
Okay.
and you can do design only one subject in one semester. You cannot do multiple design courses in one semester.
Okay.
That's architecture design, and they were saying I have to do 4 design courses minimum, and
Yeah.
that 4 was in 6 each semester, so 2 years.
Yeah.
So I didn't have to do full masters. So if I
Yeah.
look at that way, I was doing almost 1 year of course here, but
Right.
due to the time frame of this thing, I have to do in 4 semesters.
Still 2 years. So it was over 4 semesters, but kind of like part time. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
during that time,
So,
were you able to find a job, or you were still just kind of studying?
no, at that time, no, I couldn't find a job. I did some internships here at the start when I was studying over there. One company was in Dandenong, so I got very basic internship over there. Then slowly, like doing some side jobs and all that stuff. But eventually, I got another job in Hawthorne, I think. Hawthorne, yes, Hawthorne. That was my teacher actually. So I was studying, doing my master's thesis with him.
Yeah.
No, not thesis, the third semester with him.
Mhm.
And then I contacted him. He said, "Yes, let's come in." I was a bit surprised as well, but okay, let's start it over there. He was a very nice person. I stayed in very few time, little time, but then after that, I got an opportunity to work with it's a developer and the construction company. So
Yeah.
it was in 2013. So
Hmm.
since then, actually, I'm working with that guy.
With same
So
company.
yeah,
And
it's been 12, 13 years.
yeah, wow. Just on that note, Usman bhai, so if let's say one of our brothers come from Pakistan and they've done bachelor's of architecture, like you were saying, 4 or 5 years program, can they just come straight away and it gets recognized and they can just go straight into masters? Or because you had an experience in one of the European countries, was it easier for you?
So if you're coming from the Pakistan and in architecture and you want to continue the studies,
Mm.
then you can. It's not a problem. You can get admission in one of the universities because in architecture, your marks is one thing, but they also ask for a portfolio. Portfolio
Okay.
is something different where you just present your design concepts and
Mm.
design thesis. That's very important. Most of
Okay.
the universities and schools, they look at your portfolio more than your marks.
Okay.
So even I applied in MIT and Melbourne Uni together. Our MIT is more technical sort of background here,
Hmm.
and Melbourne Uni is more art side of thing. I
Hmm.
was initially I was hoping or expecting that RMIT will take me like in a better way because did my bachelor's in architecture from University of Engineering and Technology Lahore. That's similar
Yeah.
to RMIT background.
Okay. Yeah.
So, but I don't know what was the thing behind, but RMIT didn't call me. Melbourne Uni called me in, and they offered me the place, and then I started over there.
Okay. All right. That's good to hear. So now, if you, I'm quite myself naive about architecture. We just think you guys probably make some drawings and stuff, and somehow, somehow these houses then buildings just happen. Can you tell us a little bit more about your work experience and what are the different roles
Yeah,
within architecture,
yeah.
opportunities that there are?
Before I go to this point, a little bit added to the previous one.
Yeah.
That's one part of going to the architecture studies. The
Mm.
second part is if you want to be recognized or registered architect in Australia, you
Yeah.
must need minimum master's degree. That was one of the reason I did my master's. Because
Yeah.
on bachelor, you cannot be a registered architect here in Australia.
Okay.
So that's very important. So if someone is thinking of coming here and being working as an architect, then you must need to a master's degree. Otherwise, there are some other courses you can do, and you can work as a draft person or building designer, which comes under BBA, but you will not be able to call yourself an architect.
Would
So
that be bachelor's in architecture, and then if they don't end up doing master, then they can do those design roles?
yes, you can still do those design roles, but you cannot call yourself an architect.
Architecture. Okay, okay, okay. No worries.
So
Okay, that's good to
architect
hear. So
word
it's
is
3 years plus 3 years here, I believe.
2 years here,
3 years plus 2 years, so 5 years all up.
5 years
Okay,
all up.
that's good to know.
So yeah, and sorry, you I forgot your question now.
Yeah, I was just asking, within architecture field, what are the different kind of roles you get to do or choose between, or whether people can sort of sub-specialize into one thing, or different software you guys learn to use?
Yes,
Just
yes, yes, yeah. So in principle, architecture, I'm not saying because I studied architecture, but
mm,
I'm saying because I experienced it personally.
mm,
That's a multidisciplinary subject or course. It actually
mhm.
teaches you science, arts, psychology, sociology, economics, and like construction, everything. So
Okay.
I studied in three countries, and pretty much all three countries were giving you same kind of feedback and things.
Mm,
So it after graduating from architecture, you can. I've seen few people they just went to the graphic design. They went
mm,
for just for the rendering. They just went for the construction, or they just end up in doing some technical works. So
mhm.
it depends which way you want to do. The
Yeah.
most challenging thing in architecture profession is completing your studies.
Okay.
So it's not simple or straightforward studies like we normally do in other disciplines.
Yeah.
In our field is more manual work. I would say manual. No, it's not manual, but it's more practical work.
Okay.
So, for example, you have to design. When you design, you have to draw everything, and then you have to present to the teacher, and then they criticize those things. Like it takes to draw something. Sometimes it takes a couple of months, but they
Mm.
just put it in the bin in 1 minute. So,
That's
so
much.
in a minute it's gone zero. So then you
Okay.
have to again. So
Uh,
that's very challenging part of the studies.
mhm.
But once you complete, then it's okay. You will be strong enough mentally and like you can bear everything.
I'm sure you're scaring a few people off here, but is there a high fail rate, or is there just people just give up, or what are you?
They give, they give up normally. So in our class, I remember when we started in Pakistan, we
Mhm.
were it's year 12. After year 12,
Mm,
were actually I think the first session was this, and like it's a very big session, and I
mm,
think there were around 55 or 60 students.
mhm.
And when we completed first year, I think we were only 30.
Okay. Just after.
So yeah, 30 or 35 something. And that was a very big class because the one year ahead of us is only 14 students.
Okay.
So there are so many people because this is profession attracts, it's very attractive, very fascinating. And it is actually, I'm not saying, but
Mm.
once you get into it, it actually asks too much from you.
Yeah, you have to grind.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, it's too much asking.
okay, all right, that's
Here
that's.
I did the masters. Masters be different because they all come from the bachelors. So
Mm.
whoever comes here, they're already polished in that way.
Yeah, we committed to it. Yeah.
They don't give up in this soon.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, but bachelors going from your book studies straight to your drawing and totally different environment is sometimes very challenging for students. So, I
Mhm.
personally advise anyone who wants to do in architecture after year 12, especially
Mm.
bachelor, must think about this thing that it will be asking a lot from
Yeah.
you. Like it's not you have to compromise sometimes your outgoings or sitting with friends or all these things. Life changes after this thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course, like anything, you've got to commit to. If you want to get something at the end of it, you've got to do a bit of groundwork.
Yep.
Um, I'll just ask you, Usman bhai, to give our viewers a bit of an opportunity to have a bit of an insight into studies. What kind of units were you studying, and what kind of assessments were there? Were they mostly just doing projects or exams? Tell us a little bit about that, just to give everyone a bit of an idea.
So one of the major subject already told you is a design, which is
Design.
to design. I wouldn't say it's a building. We are normally design spaces. We
Mm-hmm.
can say forwards and the social environments where the human beings can live together and interact together. It doesn't matter. It's happening in a house. It's in
Mm-hmm.
a shopping center. It's in a school. It's an office building. They all these things. So in principle, we are actually designing the spaces where the human beings can flourish and nourish together or grow together. I would say.
Yeah.
So that's very important. This is the main core of this whole architecture. with this thing, actually, you need to make it safe. So safe means you need to be understanding your structure or structural engineering or civil designing, all that stuff. Make it. Then another main subject in this one is history of civilization or history of architecture. That we
Oh,
start pretty much Stone Age, I would say. So that we study for 5 years. That's a major subject that you have to study and understand how the initial human beings start living in this world or in this earth and how they evolved.
mm,
Because if you go back 200, 300 years back, we didn't have this like electricity or any power or nothing.
yeah.
But people were living there and they were actually living in a way that was more sustainable than what we are doing now.
Mm,
So if you go in Mediterranean countries, which are not very developed, you will see the houses they built over there. It's totally different than what we built here because
mm,
the nature and requirement is different over there.
mm,
So in principle, it's how nature wants from us that we build for the nature. That's more
yeah.
sustainable. Then we have mechanical subjects like I was in UET, so it was bit our for our university is much more convenient that we had a lot of disciplines around us, like
Mm,
all engineering. So we get different disciplines to come and deliver lectures. So one
mm,
of the subject was mechanical engineering that teaches us um, HVAC systems like air conditioning and cooling system, how it works in the houses or buildings.
mm,
And then we got the civil engineers who come and tells us generally how the structure works in a building. Like we design something, then we have to put concrete slabs and columns, and then we need to know one way, two way slabs. Like it's very technical sort of things for that one. It's not very detailed thing, but it gives you the idea that where you want to do it.
yeah.
And these are the main ones. And then like yeah, those are the main ones subjects I would say. uh, in another one is urban design, which is
Yeah.
more the city developments. So
Mm,
how the cities grow and how the streets and these things works together.
mm.
That was also main one.
Yeah, that's good. That sounds like you kind of need to know about other disciplines, like other engineering fields as well, because you're designing something that then has to be kind of feasible and sustainable, like you were mentioning as well. So
Yeah.
that's quite interesting. Um, Now in Australia, Usman bhai, once someone does their bachelor's and master's, is it easy to get a job, and what are the future prospects looking like?
So in architecture, as an immigrant, it's a bit difficult to get a job, I would say,
Hmm.
as an immigrant. But if the kids are grown here
Mm,
and they complete the studies here, I think it's a bit easier for them to get a job.
okay.
Second thing is in architecture is most of the time, or the best practice, I would say, or best case scenario is your own profession practice.
Mm,
So most of the architects they end up doing their own practice. Like it's sort of it's similar to when you're designing something, you have a personal choice, or you're buying. Like, let's say if you're buying something for yourself, you like few
mm,
different things to choose and then put it on yourself, or you create something.
yeah.
So these kind of things you offer to the other people. That's your personal touch into the design. So
Mhm,
at one stage, you want that thing to be presenting to the people, and those people can buy from you and then work on that one. That's your personal practice.
yeah.
So that's in my opinion. So in my opinion, I think it's a very good profession. If once you complete the studies, it's very fascinating and a very good profession for you. In subjects, I want to add one more thing, which I think missed it, is computer courses. So they teach you. When I started in 2000, computer was not very common in Pakistan,
Yeah. Yeah.
so it was very limited. But we got the computer back in our university, I think 2002 or 2003, after a
Mhm,
couple of years. So they taught us the AutoCAD at that time.
yeah.
But when I moved to Switzerland, Liechtenstein, over
Mhm,
there I learned few more softwares. They were mainly drafting and 3D rendering presentation wise, like 3DX Max and Cinema 4D. So
mhm,
in those ones, you can render something and you create animations. And
mhm,
in addition to that one, they also teach you, or at least give you the opportunity to learn the Photoshop, photo editing, all that stuff. That's graphics part of thing, because that's very important aspect of your design is a presentation. If you
Mhm.
can't present your idea, no one will buy it from you.
Yeah. So,
It tells you how you market your skills and thing. But another thing which I learned when I moved to Melbourne,
mm,
I picked up a course here, parametric design,
mhm.
which I loved it, to be honest. And that was a generative architecture.
Okay.
So this is not a standard thing that you do a design or something. It's more organic shapes and organic buildings which you see in Middle East or in some other countries.
Mhm.
Those are actually more parametric designs, and that one is comes in as what you call programming or scripting. So you can actually incorporate the scripting into your architecture design, where you don't draw it, actually, you actually create something over there and then form it and manufacture. That actually leads towards your prefabrication and also 3D modeling, 3D printing. So you print something over there and then you 3D print it and put it together.
Okay.
So it's very diverse field. So sometimes I look at back and see like I've touched pretty much everything. Not
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Going through various.
And that's a very interesting thing. If you're in Perth, isn't it?
I'm in Perth. Yeah, at the
Yeah,
moment.
you're Masjid Nasir. You have seen the sign over there on top.
Yeah. 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 That's 3D
That,
printed.
yeah, that's I personally installed over there. I
Oh.
went there.
Uh-huh.
Yes. So I personally, we did actually in computer first.
Yeah.
Send it to the CNC, cut it over there, laser cut, and then
Mm,
install it there on top.
yeah.
So I never did before that, and as a Jamaat member, I have to do it.
So the first project in doing that. That's good. So Usman bhai, tell us a little bit, for our high school students, what kind of subjects they need to focus on, if there is, anything they can do before getting into the degree to kind of explore whether this is the field for them, if there are any kind of short courses or any other opportunities to do those things.
So in before coming to the architecture, I would say if you're interested in more sketching or presentation skills, I would
Hmm.
say that will be very helpful,
Okay.
because sketching is not that good, but the presentation skill is very important.
Yeah.
If they teach you in your school is any graphic design, or like my kids are doing these days VisCom, that's a visual presentation.
Hmm.
So I asked them to do it. I didn't ask them because I want them to come in architecture. I
Mm-hmm.
asked them to do it because it helps you in life in every profession.
Yeah.
Because if you are able to present your thinking thoughts in a way, it will always be helpful. Like even in your profession, if you want to explain to someone, you always try to draw something or present something or show some images. So
Yeah.
that's very important. So
It's a good.
yeah, if you want to do that one, that's good. Second
Mhm.
thing, I would say computer courses, if they teach you something in computer, regardless it's a programming or some graphic design or Photoshop or something, try to learn those. And yeah, maths is good. Maths they teach everywhere, I believe. They teach you physics, these kind of subjects are good. But these are
Maybe
standard ones. In addition to that, methods
kind of design unit or anything like that, would that be helpful as well?
Sorry, your voice break up.
Different subjects, whether they have design subjects or other art subjects, any of those?
Yes, yes, definitely, definitely. The art subjects or design subjects, they're very important.
Yeah.
Good.
And just on that note, Osman bhai, if you can give us a bit of a understanding of what your regular day at work looks like, whether it's a lot of like dealing with clients or is a lot of like problem solving or more sort of creative side, like what is how does it vary and what are the different things you get to do?
So, being the architect, I would say my job is a little bit different. I mentioned before, I'm working with a developer and a builder.
Yeah.
So he's a developer and builder. He buys the land
Mm-hmm.
and then we design something on that one, and then we construct and then sell it. So it's a one full thing. Normally, architects don't work like that. They normally only design it and they deliver the design to a builder and they build and someone else is selling it. So it's in my case, it's more intensive, I would say.
Yeah.
That's why I don't want to scare everyone. But generally, if I say
People
for
already.
an for an architect's point of view, normally it's more creative and problem
Mhm.
solving.
Okay.
So because when you come to the drawing board and then you're sitting over there and someone wants a specific requirement, then you have to be creative and put those blocks together and make sure they're working practically, functionally, and also aesthetically for someone to put together. And then the time comes, or the later on, it make sure that it can be constructed.
Mhm.
Because sometimes the things we put on paper looks very nice, very beautiful, but when you start putting them together physically, it
Mm,
becomes very challenging, and then it's a cost. The other thing is, I wouldn't say that you can't build those things, but then it's a cost comes in,
mm,
because you can see a lot of buildings in world, they are very different shape and very, I would say, organic or deformed. There are
mm,
different philosophies behind it. There's a deconstruction, deformed, and these kind of things. Those buildings look like unrealistic, but they build it.
mm,
Behind that thing is a cost.
of course.
So yeah, budget. So if the client is happy to spend, you can do everything. But if the
Mm.
client is happy, then you need to be limited with the budget and make sure it's working.
That's one
So,
of your
and it's very
when you're
satisfactory.
doing
Yeah,
as well.
it's very satisfactory when you complete the design and someone comes and appreciate it. So
Yeah, good. Yeah, that's your creation there.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's good. How do you think, Usman bhai, is technology kind of changing your field? With like 3D modeling or AI or I don't know VR. Like, are there emerging trends that you see in your field?
Definitely, there are people are using all those things. 3D printing is a helpful tool, I would say, because you can design something and then ask printer to just draw it for you, and you can see how it works. AI is also very helpful tool. People are using that one too. I tried in few things, but it didn't work very well for me. Maybe I'm trying with some free apps. That's why. But I
Need
heard
to
that
spend
they
the money.
are yeah. So I heard that some of them apps are good, and people are using that one. But they're mostly are actually helping tools, I would say, these
Yeah,
days.
they're not
In
like.
future, yeah, in future, no, it will take over something. But in current time and age, it's their helping tools where you can use those things and make sure that everything is working and present to the client and convince them. Even graphic design wise or rendering wise, people are using AI to put some images together and
Mhm.
just for the presentation purposes. And once everything is good, client is happy, then you start putting together in a detailed documentation by yourself.
Yeah, that's good. Um, Usman bhai, what's one thing you wish you kind of knew before starting your architecture career?
Before starting architecture career, that's an interesting question. Let me think of. I think I should, if I aware of these presentation skills, like in
Mhm.
reality, that in design, teacher, to be honest, when we started, the teacher started telling us that main thing is present yourself properly.
Mhm.
But when you come to this profession or any profession, I think we start, or I was thinking generally, I would say I was thinking too high and looking at more technical things, and I found this thing and make this one work. That's
Mhm.
secondary thing. That will come to you anyway over
That's-
the experience.
Yeah.
The main thing is you need to learn how to present yourself
Mhm.
and how to present not yourself, your design idea, explain it properly, and these kind of things. If I knew that thing understood at that time, I think I would have done it differently.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. Can you tell us? I know you've spoken about one of these projects you did in the Perth Mosque. Designing this kind of not banner. What would you call it? Is it just
Signage.
huh?
Signage. Signage.
That's right. Yeah, that's signage is the word. What are some of your other favorite projects that you worked on that was quite fulfilling moments in your career?
Jamal, actually, Jamal was asked me, even all the signs in Batul Huda at the moment done by
That
myself.
it's
Yeah,
yeah.
all of them. Actually, we installed. That was the first one I did, which I was not sure how to do it, to be honest. I know how to draw it and put everything together, build it, but to install on standing on that scissor lift was a very interesting experience when it was shaking like this, and I was scared like I'm gonna
Um,
fall down.
I've had a bit of experience as well. It looks easy and it looks like everything is stable, but when you're up there, the earth seems to be shifting from under you.
True, true, true. And I was scared. And when, we were four people, three people, I think, standing on that one. And two of them, they walked on the other end. And I was scared when they're going to fall me down.
Yeah. It's all
Very
it's all
hard.
good
It
for
was
something.
going
Yeah.
like this. Yeah. That was a good one. Then before that, actually, I got an opportunity to design Baitul Masroor Brisbane Mosque.
Yeah.
So that's my design. So
Oh,
that's,
a
yeah,
whole
that's,
from start to
yes.
finish.
Yes, yes. So for all town turning, everything was mine,
That is
and
very good. Yeah.
that, yeah, that was a very good opportunity to do that one. After that, I did bits and pieces everywhere for our own Masjid Batuslam. That
Mm,
was more dealing with the council, not the design physical,
mm,
but it's for more project management, dealing with VCAT courts and everything. We actually got the approval for, if you remember, we had the approval for only 80 members for the mosque. That
yes.
we extended to 700 people, from 80 to
Mm,
700. That was very long and
mm.
thing process with the council and also with the weekend. Sorry.
That was a hard fought battle.
Oh, 100%. That was very, very, because it's what, Alhamdulillah, God helped Hazur, prayers with us,
Um,
and then got that 700 for those big
did
masjid.
that involve just project management side of things, Usman Bhai, or did your architectural kind of experience come into play there as well?
Architecture experience as well, because I did the site plan for for those areas, for the car
Okay.
park layouts and everything, with the help of traffic engineer,
Mm-hmm.
and some internal drawings. We did it again, all those things. Then recently we are doing another project over there, but that's when I come to the point and I will tell you.
Yeah.
And also Darul Bakat, the masjid, we bought it for Danino Masjid.
That.
Yeah, Darul Bakat. I got opportunity to draw the plans for that one. That was not a design thing, but got to submit to the council,
Yeah.
and also do a couple of reports for that thing, review the documentation to help the whole team where it's possible.
Yeah.
And yeah, these kind of things happening in Melbourne, Brisbane, and actually when I was in Switzerland, at that time I was student, very young. I
Mm.
did hall design for Swiss Jamaat as well, Switzerland Jamaat. So I don't know if it was built or not, but I did the
Yeah.
design. That one.
Whether it's into
So,
fruition.
yeah.
Mashallah. So that means for our viewers that are listening or our young students that are considering, there's a lot of opportunities to do khidmat from learning in architecture as well. So that's very
100%. Yeah,
uplifting.
100%. Yeah, yeah.
Make
Architecture is a
me,
lot of.
you're making me reconsider my career choices as well.
It's a very good. Actually, that's one of the blessing I forgot to tell everyone.
Of
And
course.
I think in all professions you can get opportunity to help Jamaat, but
Yeah.
architecture and civil design, these two things, I would say, it's a lot of opportunity to work with the Jamaat projects, and just to add up to this thing, when I was in Pakistan,
Mm-hmm.
I was still again very fresh graduate from uni and doing like 6 7 months. So I got an opportunity to design Sadr Amumi office extension over there.
Okay.
So when I was moved to Switzerland, I was actually doing those things. And when I went back after a while to Pakistan, I saw that it was built. So I don't know who completed the drawings, but the concept we discussed over there and put on the paper, that was built like that.
Mm.
So, so that's the opportunity you get everything. And another interesting thing I will tell you, when you ask for the profession, you tell me when the time is over. Okay. So
No. We've got heaps of time. We've got all the time you have.
yeah, so I was when I was in uni, we got a project to design a mosque as a
Yeah.
project. At that time, you think out of the box and you find something. And I was thinking, what can I do for the mosque that look different from other mosques?
Mm.
So I was thinking, and then found an idea or got an idea. I don't know from where, but I was thinking to do the mosque dome in split levels, like shells. So you have
Yeah.
solid and the windows solid and the windows solid and the windows.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah,
How
so
would
that was
you put it on top of the window?
sorry.
How would you support the solid with the
That's
base? That
Yeah,
would be
that was a very that's why I remember that one because that was a big problem because I want the have holes round as a glass,
all the
but
way.
with the shells. So at that time I discussed with few people and all that seniors and teachers, and then
Yeah.
we end up having a beams, four beams coming from both sides, which are
Mhm.
internal. You don't see from outside, but that's
Mhm.
internal. The interesting thing I'm telling you is that unfortunately I lost my drawings over there
Mhm.
when I completed my degree and I was flying back or flying overseas from Lahore airport, the mosque they were building is that shell.
Oh,
So
really?
yeah, I don't know, but they were building that shell over there.
Someone
So
saw your drawings.
I don't know. I'm not saying someone spotted my drawings, but someone got the same idea.
Is that just like a non-Ahmadi mosque, right?
Yeah, no, no. It's a Lahore airport.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah. Oh,
Lahore airport mosque is actually that shell thing coming up.
yeah.
So
Oh,
that's very interesting. Like
okay.
it's the things happen in the life which you
Yeah.
see happening in reality.
Yeah, that must be very fulfilling. You touched on civil design, Usman, but is that an offshoot of architectural field, or is that a totally separate
It's
separate
totally
field?
it's totally separate field.
Okay.
So, but you can
Can tell us a little bit more about that?
yeah, civil engineering is a totally different
Oh,
field.
civil
Like
engineering. Yeah. Okay.
yeah, it's a totally different. You asked me regarding civil engineering, isn't it?
Yeah, I thought you mentioned civil design, and I was thinking maybe it's some kind of subspecialty within the
No,
architecture
no,
field.
no, no.
But
It's a
I
civil engineering.
so
Civil
much.
design. When I say civil design, generally they call it stormwater design. That's a
Okay.
civil design.
Okay.
Overall, it's called civil engineering, which has the stormwater design, hydraulic sort of thing, and the structure design comes in.
Yeah.
So that's stormwater is very important, plays a very important role in building designs, apartments, and multi-unit and houses.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Hydraulic also comes in. You need to work with them, and mechanical, all those things comes in together.
Yeah. Awesome. Jazakallah Usman bhai, we've touched on. I know it's been a little bit all over the place. I've just been asking you questions as they've been coming to my mind. But just coming towards nearing towards the end of our session, Usman bhai, are there any tips you would give to our high school students if they can, in some way, they can start building their portfolio earlier, or any other tips for kids considering the path? I know you've already mentioned, presentation skills and learning about various graphic or design platforms. Anything else that we have not covered that you'd like to mention?
Mainly, I think that's it. So if you have a good portfolio, because in here in Australia, schools they teach you from start. It's a arts and craft subject sort of thing where they need ask you to work with the woodworks and create some stuff over there. And also, I see my kids doing all those things, and now and then they ask you to do some work sketching or some make a card or your parents, your grandparents, your siblings, or any mom days, father days, whatever comes in, they create those things. So that's a very helpful thing. Don't take them very casual things. I would say keep those things with you, and
Mm-hmm.
that will help you to develop your portfolio at the end of the day. And when you come to the senior classes, it's better if you're serious about going in architecture and design. Definitely, you seriously think about preparing or developing your portfolio. That's not only your hand sketching, but it also covers or depends on your graphic skills, computer skills,
Mm-hmm.
and scores as well. So working hard and spending good time on your presentation and the graphic design, I think that will very, very helpful for you.
Awesome. I'm sorry if I'm asking this again, Hassan, but I know you mentioned a few different softwares and stuff. But what are the particular programs that our kids who are very keen they can start learning now, or exposing themselves to? I know you mentioned Adobe, one, but are there any others?
In terms of presentation wise, I would say Adobe Suite is the good thing. It also comes with Adobe Photoshop and Illustrator, and there is another one, I forgot the name, InDesign.
Mm-hmm.
So InDesign, Illustrator, Photoshop, these are very good tools. They are like a basic of graphic design, and they are very strong. They developed over like years and years, and they
Mm-hmm.
are very mature softwares. So if you have a good command on those ones, they're very good. If you want to go, that's mostly 2D. I think Illustrator does some bit of more work in drafting as well. But if
Mm-hmm.
you want to go towards modeling softwares, I didn't work much in Google SketchUp,
Mm-hmm.
but a little bit I touched it, and I feel like it's a very good software for the kids to understand how the forms and shapes and everything works. And if you want to go a bit more developed, or they also call the BIM, Building Information Modeling,
Mm-hmm.
in that side. So in those softwares, Autodesk has a software called Autodesk Revit. That's very good software in these days. That has a opportunity or capability of integrating different disciplines into one model. So even other companies, if they work in Revit, Autodesk Revit, you can actually get all the services designed in 3D and put into your model and see that where the clashes and everything happening in documentation wise. Or ArchiCAD, that's also very good software.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a heaps of other softwares. Rhino was very good with the Grasshopper that I've mentioned about the parametric design. Is
Mm-hmm.
the parametric is the Grasshopper. Grasshopper is a plugin that works
Okay.
with the Rhino. So it actually generative thing. You just put the leads together and it starts playing with the 3Ds and your shapes and different geometries.
Okay. Awesome. Very good. Jazakallah Usman bhai. It was very, very interesting to learn some of the projects that you've been working on. And I think we've given quite a detailed insight into the field. I myself have learned quite a lot about it. And that's something I personally like doing these webinars as well. Because, yeah, we hear, oh, someone's an architect or, someone's a civil engineer or mechanical engineer, but we don't have a in-depth understanding of what their actual role is and the actual real-life applications of that. So that was very interesting to hear. Jazakallah for your time.
No problem.
Um, uh,
Jazakallah for inviting me.
Jazakallah. Inshallah, we'll speak again. Okay. Assalamu
Jazakallah. Assalamu alaikum. Hafiz.
alaikum.